All right, I know I was talking about these heads earlier. These are the BMW heads for the R80, about how rough they are, and I'm going to port them. But before I port them, before I even touch them, I basically just cleaned them up a little bit. I still got to glass bead them as far as the outside for paint and to clean up the rest of the combustion chamber. Uh, what I'm going to do is take a mold of the port using two-part silicone. Basically, I'll mix this and fill the port up with silicone, let it dry for a day or two, and then pull the whole thing out so I can actually show you what I mean. What I mean by the floor is the port's going on, it's making an angle layer, then it's going straight and it's making another angle layer. That's really bad for airflow on these things. And no, I don't have a flow bench, but I've done well over 1,000 heads and with and without a flow bench. So I've got it down pretty good. Uh, what I am going to have to do though is this is so bad where this hump comes in. It comes at this angle and then flattens out. So it goes in, flattens out, and then it goes down. There's another angle on this end going down going to the intake seat there. And then right where the seat comes in, there's actually an angle right there at the end of the seat. So it's angle, angle, angle. So what I'll be doing there is after I do the mold, I'll be mixing up some epoxy to put a little radius on the floor of this port in this flat section. You'll see it when I actually get the mold out. I'm not doing the mold right now. Got a ton of other things to do today. And next, probably this coming week, probably Tuesday is when I'll be doing it. And I have an eye doctor's appointment on Monday. Get some shots in my eyes. And should be back on it Tuesday. I doubt I'll be doing it tomorrow. Or I might actually might try to do the resin tomorrow and then start putting the epoxy in there on Tuesday and then have to wait a couple of days for the epoxy to dry. It's a slow process. But that's where we are right there. And I should have my pink stones then to do these seats, to do the valve job Monday or Tuesday as well. So sometime next week I should be doing the valve job on it. And then we can finish setting up our springs as far as our installed height on our springs and these things once we got the valves where we want them. And once all that shit's done, I can go ahead and paint these things and give them a couple of days to dry. Just doing a satin black on to match everything else as far as the cylinders and the heads and the rocker boxes, starter cover and the front chain cover. That's all in satin black with red highlights. This will just be straight up satin black though. Same with the cylinders. You don't want to put too much different color on stuff. It looks too busy, I guess. That's what you'd call it. But this is just two-part epoxy here. You just mix them together, pour it in there, and then for a mold release, I just smear the inside of the port with Vaseline. Seems to work good for a mold release because all we're doing is trying to get a shape out of it, what it actually looks like, the dimensions of the port itself to see where we need to fill in and where we need to take out, which is usually done by this. It's the magic finger reporting. You can actually feel it. Sounds like bullshit, but that's where I started at. And before I ever had a flow bench, I was making good power out of a lot of stuff on all different kinds of cylinder heads, not just Harleys. Done Harleys, Triumph, Japanese stuff, BSA, Norton, Ducati, a lot of other stuff with and without a flow bench. I didn't actually have access to a flow bench until probably 94, 93, 94, somewhere in there. Started using Superflow SF 1020 computerized flow bench with the swirl meter and velocity probe and all that, and it works good. But yeah, you go back to what you know. In other words, the flow bench, I learned a lot on the flow bench of shit that you're trying to do because you're trying to achieve some magical number that you do what you think is right according to the flow bench, and you put it on the bike and it falls on its face. Flows good, but doesn't have the right velocity. So then you go in and start cutting back on some things and adding material here and taking material out someplace else. Just is what it is. But yeah, we'll get these we'll get these molds made of this intake port. If I got enough material left over, I'll probably do the exhaust too, because the exhaust is pretty bad as well. As far as design, it's a lot worse than I thought it would be. This is like, the way this is set up, this isn't even like 70s stuff really. That's more like 50s kind of crap. The floor here, which is the bottom of the port, right about where my thumb and forefinger are, right there, is where it's really bad. It's flat, and it shouldn't be flat. There should be at least some kind of radius there. And instead of, because I guarantee you right now, if I get in there, it isn't going to be right where it is. That's why I'm adding material to it. And all I'm doing this for is to get a visual of how bad it is. So when I fill it up with epoxy, I'll know how much to add in there. And I'm just using PRK 99 epoxy, which you can only use on the intakes, temperature rating wise. If you try to put that in an exhaust port, it'd just blow it out. Too much heat in the exhaust port. Intake port doesn't get that hot, so we're good on that. Long time ago, we used to use a marine text in there, which worked great, but a little bit more modern stuff is available now than marine text, which I've never had a problem using marine text. I've heard guys say, oh, it comes out, that does this, it does that, it doesn't last. But the PRK 77 is from Goodson Tools. It's a two-part epoxy. Stinks to high heaven, but it's evidently works pretty good. So we'll be using that. Anyway, just be looking forward to that. And we'll get it when we get it. Along with everything else. It's only a matter of time.